right, without further ado, I will introduce our speaker for this evening. Many of y'all probably know Cindy, and if you don't know this bio, hopefully will help you get to know her a little bit better. So Cindy McInturff found her passion in sustainable native planting. With her degree in architecture as a design foundation, she's taken cues from science and nature to help educate and design our environment in keeping with the long-forgotten harmony with the natural world. She is currently a project manager for an architecture firm in Dallas, but has worked with her mentor, Rosa Finsley, for several years on various landscapes, implementing naturalistic design using Texas native plants. It is her goal to help the growing trend of reducing the consumptive, chemical-dependent lawns and replacing them with yards that are in balance with our resources and climate, providing habitats for the dwindling numbers of our native and migrating wildlife. She's a member of the Dallas NIPSOT chapter since 2013 and has served on its board in several positions since 2015. So please give a warm welcome to Cindy. Okay, good. Hi, everybody.
This talk always brings out a whole bunch of people because it's one of our most difficult topics that because Texas is sun, right? And everybody plants evergreens and the, non-natives in the shade. So first, what I want to point out is this QR code is at the very first slide and the very last slide, but it will give you a PDF of my lovely, and it's going to be a bigger QR code at the end, but it's a PDF of a lot of what I'm going to talk about today. So look for that later. So I've only given this talk twice. So this is my third time, so maybe third's a charm. I have not been able to successfully pare down the number of slides I have. There's over 100. So we're going to go really fast on a lot of them. And then we can discuss. I want a community effort because my previous garden was mostly sun, but I had a little bit of shade. So you might have some more shade knowledge than me. I'm just looking at the database and going, oh, that's partial. Oh, that's shade. If y'all have some comments or other opinions of like what it's done differently in your yard, let's speak up. In my bio, like you heard, that my mentor is Rosa Finsley. Well, she worked on the Arlington City Hall. It was a great project on all four sides. We basically did we did 4 parts of Texas. We did West Texas on the west side. We did East Texas on the east, the shady side, and then a little bit of around the way. So here's a little bit of the shade. This was the entrance. So we did all inland sea oats with the bald cypress. You've got a lot of combination things going on here. And then Christmas fern, cedar sedge, and yellow columbine make a great grouping. Dwarf palmetto and yellow columbine for this grouping. And you see Turk's cap and black-eyed Susan. Wax myrtle, Turk's cap, and cedar sedge. Now, this is not a native agave. This was at Christine Tenek's residential yard. And I noticed that she told me it was an artichoke agave, but in the shade, it wilted more. So it kind of just splayed out. So what I'm thinking is we could use, and she also had whale's tongue. What I was thinking what we could use is agave hardii, which is the only agave native to Texas, but far west. But look how stunning that color is in the shade. It just pops. So why not? So somebody want to try this. If you have an agave hardii, stick it in the shade and see if it just relaxes a bit. That's what she said. This one was, she told me parii, and then she also told me artichoke, which is what? Yeah, artichoke, parii, and then whale's tongue. Please don't tell me okay, good. So give it a shot.
Yeah, more like.
So, yeah. So, native to Mexico. Here's another grouping, sedges, violas, and lyre leaf sage. And just a huge swath of yellow columbine over at the Wildscape in Arlington. Rock rose, who would have thought? can work in the shade, Enlinceos and Chilipiquin. Yellow columbine, giant spiderwort, bloom at the same time. So what we're going to go over, ground covers, grasses, sedges, ferns, basically in this order. Since we may run out of time, we're going to leave evergreen and trees for the end and the hard to find. And we're going to talk about partial shade and deep shade first, and then we'll go into the shade to the sun loving. And just like that PDF that you'll probably download, I have these keys on each of these slides. So what you're going to see is the bloom calendar. It's deer resistance, which is, you know, more for Austin, but I've got it. Whether it's evergreen or deciduous. So this is semi. And if it's filled in, it's evergreen. If it's just an outline, then it's deciduous. Then if it's Texas native or not, and of course they're all going to be Texas, and whether it's got a color wheel, it has a color bloom. And then of course sun and moisture preferences. So full sun, partial, full shade, dry, moist, wet. Basically, everybody got that? So ground covers. We've got wine cup. It will do, I kind of lied. There's sun and partial, it's not deep shade. Anyway, we've got wine cup, which is great ground cover massing. We've got frog fruit. This is over at 3030 Sylvan, and they have it in their in their parking lot where it just slopes into their bioswale. I know what it should look like. Started to look like with bad maintenance. It doesn't look like that anymore. Greg's Dahlia is going to need very dry partial shade. Horse herb, everybody knows it's going to do perfect in all lighting conditions. Great lawn alternative. On to grasses and sedges. Hey, I am going fast. Do I need to slow down at all? Everybody's seen those, right? I only have a few sedges. They're all together. This one's Cherokee sedge. It's one of the taller ones. And as you can see, it's got a longer bloom stalk. Of course, it's evergreen. Gotta love evergreen sedges for shade. Cedar sedge is our most, the sedge that's found most often in North Texas and mostly East Texas. It's the one under all the pines and stuff. But it gets its name because you can find it under junipers or cedar sedges. It's my favorite. And you know why? Because I have 3 slides on it. And we put it at Arlington City Hall.
And is it evergreen?
Yep. Notice the solid leaf. No. It does have a bloom. It's got this little guy right here. I love the trailing wispiness of it. This one is Texas sedge. It takes more sun than it does shade. Yep.
Have you had good luck with that? Has anyone had good luck with that? I kill Texas sedge. Where do you have it?
I have it in, mostly sun, have just a little bit of shade in my, front. Oh, near there. Sidewalk.
Where have you planted it that it didn't like?
In dry, like 4 to 6 hours of sun. I tried it in shade because it seemed to just disappear in the sun and it disappeared in the shade. Might be.
I have mine in red and Cherokee.
Interesting. Oh, that's true. Yeah, exactly. So I'm sorry. Connie has had good luck with Texas sedge in full sun with just a touch of partial shade. And she has it next to Cherokee sedge. So Cherokee sedge is the taller of the three that we talked about, then the cedar sedge, and then the Texas sedge is supposed to be smaller.
Response to what you said, Emily, I don't know in your case what type of soil you have. Now, you probably won't hurt to do some research to find out what kind of soil does best, because I'm not really first on sedges as far as the type of soil they have. Some plants do better in acid soil than others, so I don't know. So probably have to do a little research for what type of soil they need, so.
We've broken up. I'll use the Weberville sedge everywhere and that's solid.
That's it, though.
The lovely and or dreaded inland sea oats.
And then,
If you have it, you will always have it practically. I once thought I could gorilla seed LBJ with it.
Yeah.
I had a whole bag just
In volunteering at Texas Discovery Gardens, I have spent many an hour pulling out inland sea oats.
yes. Be careful if you want it. If you really want it, get it. If you're not sure, don't get it. The seeds just go everywhere. Yes, it is easy to pull, but it's just time consuming. But great for shade and great soil stabilizer for along creeks and stuff. Want to do that. So they look great around trees. Oh, and they make great cuttings. Just because it arches and the seed heads just look great. So they're great green fillers with your flowers. And stays gorgeous. To just let it dry out. Have this nice dried bunch. The next two are wild rice. We have Canadian and then we have Virginia. So Canadian, as it grows, think of the C, and the bloom head starts to arch and starts to do the C thing. Virginia stays upright. So think of V and then the C. So if that helps you. But of course, look at the brand new Canadian wild rye bloom stalk, and it's upright. So it's gonna lean over as it ages. So you can see as it dries, it's kind of leaning over. While Virginia is going to remain upright, and it's also a longer seed stalk, bloom stalk, seed stalk. This one I have never seen for sale, which doesn't mean it's not. Did I misspell Minnesota? I think I did. Yeah, okay. Sand love grass. Rosa specified this one. It's supposed to be around somewhere. Okay. You're gonna get it for the next plant sale, aren't you? You just created your own goal, right?
I'm just ready to check.
But it frequently flops over on its neighbors late in the season, sometimes with pleasing results, it says. Leaves turn rusty tan when dormant, but look at it. It could be a great alternative to Gulf Muley. And it is native to North Texas. Not sure if you can see it, but it has a seed head just like Gulf Muley and similar. Then we've got oh, he does. Okay, does he still have them? Okay. We're told that John Snowden has a variety named after him called John Snowden lovegrass. So somehow, if somebody wants it really bad, we'll put you in touch. The lovely switchgrass, great for soil stabilization as well in moist areas. Indian grass, lovely. Just love that yellow in late fall. And then of course it's kind of hard to see, but should angle up just a little bit more. But that's out at Dogwood. It's very lovely grass for all sun conditions, sun, partial, and full shade. Then there's alkali sakatone. Yeah, I'm a nerd. This is mostly West Texas, up into the Panhandle, all the way down into Valley. It is tolerant of flooding and drought and saline alkaline conditions. So if you have a beach house on Galveston, go for it. And lucky you. Do I have an invite? Just kidding. Some quick ferns. We've got maidenhair fern, which is gorgeous in a waterfall application. And it prefers moisture year round. Without watering, it will go dormant by July.
That's the southern maiden.
I'm not sure. That's why. Whatever this Latin one is. Then there's Christmas fern. It got its name because it stays green right through the holiday season. Whereas I think this other one, the wood fern, turns rust. Isn't that the one? Yeah, the bronze cast as winter approaches. So the easy identifier between the two is wait till Christmas. If you're lazy like me. Let's see. This one wood fern needs moist, Christmas fern needs moist, and maidenhair needs moist and wet. Yeah. They all need something, a little something, something. For vines, we've got pitcher clematis. This is the one that's more in North Texas. It's the purple one, also known as a leather flower. So cute and dainty. I love it. Its leaves look like the invasive clematis too. And then we have the Texas clematis. I believe it's more native to Central Texas, but hey, it can still be planted in your garden here. Lovely coral honeysuckle for the hummingbirds. It can do partial shade. Texas wisteria can do all sun conditions. And quickly, we'll do shrubs. Was it Texas or was it the non-native? Yeah.
Well, that's typically the Chinese.
It covered everything up and it just.
Yeah. That's
It's
the age.
robust.
I would think any vine could choke out a tree eventually, because it wraps around itself and then the tree keeps wanting to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So, yeah. We've got red columbine, the lovely counterpart to yellow columbine. Chili king. Everybody makes you probably make a great salsa with it too, right? Yeah, it's pretty hot, right? Yes. If you're not into salsa, plant it for the birds. The birds love these little peppers because they don't detect heat. So they do kind of wait till the end of the season to eat them, don't they? I haven't planted one, but I've always seen berries on it for a long time.
Not surviving.
Really? Yeah, are they on the north side? Which side of the house? So is that north? So some people say that their chilibequine behaves like an annual, and one person says theirs is heavily mulched in the shade and theirs comes back every year. So, yeah. So Miss Emily would break up with it. Here's a mass planting of it. Looks beautiful. And then we have lovely button bush. Man, I want one of these so bad, but it needs some moisture. It will behave in all sun conditions. We'll take a little bit of drought, but it will need some moisture to kick back in. if you've been around long enough, I've used this image as Happy New Year's on the Native Plant Society Facebook page because they look like fireworks. I just love them.
My experience with buttonbush is that it can handle the summers like we had 3 years ago and be fine as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it can handle the water, like 0 water.
I believe you because this is in Weatherford. Oh, I'm sure it's multiple, but it, just reseeded next to itself, but it's in a bar ditch next to a country road. And the pollinators on this sucker, oh my God, it was, you could do a symphony of just insects. It was amazing.
Is it just certain pollinators or there's all kinds of pollinators?
All kinds. Yep,
I guess the monarchs would be included there.
probably, yeah. If they were here at the right time.
Say, is it blooming during migration?
Let's see, it says it blooms June through September. So it's quite possible. I don't have a picture of them on it, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Somebody asked if you've seen monarchs on it. Could be on it, so. Oak leaf hydrangea. This one, it can die back in the winter. Some people have good luck and says it can stay around. Many weak brittle canes are easily broken in the wind and ice, forms colonies from a shallow root system. But you can always cut it down. It says prune immediately after flowering. I haven't had this, but most of these pictures are from Texas Discovery Gardens out front. But they can grow real tall, and have that gorgeous, fall color. I mean, I do it plant it just for the fall color. And here it is in full bloom. St. John's wort. Not many people have this, but they say it's a Texas native. I didn't grab the bone map on where, and I also haven't seen it for sale.
Third had it, the punctatum,
Okay,
which is native to this county.
okay. There are a lot of these hypericums, St. John's worts that are not native to Texas, so you got to make sure, check the Latin.
Sally Wasowski had one species of hypericum in the front yard when they lived in Dallas.
Okay. He was just saying Sally Wazowski had a hypericum in their front yard. Not sure which one, because that was a while ago. Louisiana iris. Granted, it's got a sliver of native Texas, right on the Louisiana border, but it still works great along our ponds. My rental house actually has some, and I don't water it. It's on the side of the house I never see, and it's over there. I didn't see it bloom, but good evergreen. Multiple colors. Turk's cap. Who doesn't love Turk's cap? Who doesn't know about Turk's cap? Gotta love Turk's cap. Evidently the source I grabbed, my little key, says only partial shade and shade. People have got it in full sun. Yes, and the leaves just wilt a little bit more, and then it comes nightfall and they go, whoop, just like that. A great close up on them. And I think if you've seen some of our recent slideshows, the stamen and all the pollen at the top is rubbed against the hummingbird's head, and that's how it gets pollinated, because they come in, they dive for the sweetness.
There is a hybrid between.
The Big Mama?
Yeah, called Big Mama.
Yep. I don't think we ordered Big Mama out here, but I took a selfie with the Turk's cap we have out here, and it was a foot taller than me.
Do that.
Yeah. So the regular one is partial, like West Sun, but yeah, they can get tall. It says, often 2 to 3 feet, but don't kid yourself. Also the seed head berries are great a vitamin C source. Manzanita. False aloe, Manfreda maculosa, can work in partial. Great coloring on its leaves. Dwarf wax myrtle. Everybody's got this, right? It does. It is an evergreen that you can fall back on, but mix it up with some other stuff. Don't have a whole hedgerow of it. Be exciting. Just plant 1 or 2. Texas beargrass, Nolita texana. This is one of the Nolinas where the bloom is actually down in the fronds, and I forget what the other Nolina is where the bloom is actually above it. Anybody else remember that one? I should have that right next to it. My bad. Golden groundsel. Everybody loves this one, and everybody should have this one. If you don't, Bob and I will start propagating for the next sale. Cute little evergreen rosettes, tall flower spikes in early spring. It's one of the first things to bloom, and it's just gorgeous and create a mass planting. It does reseed easily, but let it. It's not that crazy. Just let it go for it. Here's the mass planting of it before the flower spikes come up. Black-eyed Susan is great for all sun conditions. Here's the caveat. It can do all sun conditions, but just like, what was the other plant I said? Inland sea oats. If you know you want it, plant it. If you're not sure, don't. Somebody planted it in my rental house, and it is a lawn alternative right now. Because I found milkweed vine in my yard. So I know two bunches of it. So I'm not mowing, seeing what else comes up. I found 3 sedges, 2 rushes, and I'm like, this is a rental house, and I got this treasure. Anyway, wild Riella everywhere. So the beautiful blooms, seed heads, they pop open and disperse like crazy. So just be careful. You have been warned. Does it?
When you try to pick them up, they're all.
Oh, they were spread by rhizomes too, somebody says. So yeah, I haven't started pulling them yet. So I guess I'll. No, Lena Lindheimeri has the bloom stalk above where the Texana has it actually in the bunch. Thank you. Thank you, Carol. Dwarf palmetto, lovely. The ones you see most for sale are going to be this tall. Like, go look out here to our pollinator garden. It is this tall. But see how big it is at Texas Discovery Gardens? Allow room for it. And this is a side note on design. Think about the shape of your shrub and do something fun underneath it. Don't just mulch it. Find a ground cover. Let it, otherwise you're going to be weeding the mulch. So put a good ground cover underneath it. I do that with even Salvia greggii, snake herb. Anyway.
There's a Dallas County open space preserve down on the Trinity east of downtown that has an absolute ground cover of all minor under the trees.
Wow.
It's awesome. And they can get up to 6 feet tall.
Lovely. No sedges underneath at all? The way it fans out and wow.
I think it's probably too wet for sedges.
Oh. Here's the bloom stalk, had little tiny flowers, and then it creates these berries. Briarleaf sage, another one that needs a caveat. I think we got one more that needs a caveat. Maybe we're done. So lyre leaf sage makes an awesome alternative to chocolate chip majuga. It has the same purple veining, except for it comes with a flower spike. If you don't want it to go everywhere, don't let it bloom or don't let it go to seed after it flowers. Just go out there and nip, nip, nip. It also spreads very easily, but it's easy to pull. The rosette is evergreen. So if you need something to fill in for the winter, it's a perfect alternative too. See, look at those gorgeous leaves. Why there's so many haters? Don't be hating. Rather have that and Ruellia all over the yard. Heartleaf skullcap. Sorry, here's another caveat plant. Rhizomes. Poof, it could create a solid stand quickly. I love it. It's got very velvety leaves. So if you've got kids, that tactile is great for them. And the bloom, look at this. I don't know, Bob, is golden section the right thing I'm thinking of? The way before it blooms. It's just got a lovely geometry before the bloom stalk actually comes up. So what I did is I have an old tree pot, one of those huge guys, and I put it in it. And within 3 years, it has filled from corner to corner, the whole circumference of it. But it loves the shade, and I just, so I have it. I haven't seen if it'll go outside of if the seeds will pop out. Does anybody know if it reseeds easily and spreads that way? Or is it just the rhizomes that you got to worry about?
I'm like just starting to plant stuff, so for me it was great. Now I got a whole new bunch of.
Uh-huh. Not nearby. Okay. So hopefully. Okay. So if you catch it early, she had some that crossed the sidewalk. If you catch it early, do you think they're good? If you pull them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy to pull up. Beautiful.
In the 90s, I drove in April from Dallas to Tallahassee, Florida, and almost the entire way at the edge of the wood, Salvia lorata was in bloom the whole way. Wow, it was amazing.
Sure it wasn't kudzu? No, just kidding.
What?
Prairie goldenrod. This is a lovely plant that Emily has sourced for us the last 2 sales, I think. So it does well in all sun conditions, but dry. It's one of the goldenrods that you want. It's not as aggressive as the canadensis and some of the other ones. So stay tuned for our plant sales for this one. Hopefully we can get it again. And this is the goldenrod that you want for your pollinators come fall. How tall? It says 1.5 to 3 feet tall. Coralberry makes a great mass planting, as you can see here. It is deciduous, but it leaves these beautiful red berries all over it. The birds do eat it, but it's one of the last things they eat. Small caveat is they arch and set roots. So if you don't want it to migrate, just nip it off before it sets too many roots.
Okay, now looking at that one there, and then the other type is the beauty berry.
Yeah.
Which ones do you think the birds would be more in tune to go after? Did anybody out there?
Beautyberry, right? Yeah.
Berry?
Yeah.
The birds, the male birds, like their color, cardinals need it, that I forget exactly what it is, but yeah, they'll eat all the berries.
Yeah, I read that the beauty berries are good bird attraction for the berries and one too, but I wasn't sure which one would be, they'd be more like. It's just like asking which plant, if you had the crossweed in the regular flower, the bonnet would go to the regular flower of the parsley.
Yep. Speaking of frostweed, bam, you're intuitive.
He can crossweed if he wants some, I've got lots.
you know what, I actually have planted 3 crossweed plants, and I got some volunteers too, believe it or not,
Mm-hmm.
in my backyard.
Yeah, we have some left over from the sale, so we will have some this fall, definitely. Frostweed, if you don't know, creates this lovely fall, umbral, I think I'm saying that right, flower head of lots of white flowers that the monarchs love. Not as much as Greg's mistflower, like he said. But it gets its name from creating these ice crystals at the first frost. They say first frost, but I've seen it a couple of times. So don't be aggressive with your cutting back of your frostweed. Leave a good foot at least if you want to cut it back. The other downside is everybody says leave the leaves. Well, guess what? Last time I left the leaves, I couldn't see my ice crystals. They were buried. So before it freezes, pull them back a little bit, I guess. But it looked fun with them weaving in the leaves and stuff when I did pull. Anyway. And it can create a beautiful stand of it. Hopefully this is our last caveat. This is violets. It can spread just like the Aurelia, just like the lyre leaf sage. Once you have it, you have it. It has spread into my rental house within a year because it blooms first thing in the spring or kind of mid-spring. But then it creates these non-blooms. I don't know what the scientific term is, sue me. But it pops out seeds without a bloom and they go everywhere. So these tri-lobed and they look like little peas in a little pod and they just go everywhere without a bloom. I'm like, you're cheating me out of a bloom. Come on, man. But they do make a great ground cover and lawn alternative in the shade. So these will take full sun and partial shade. Yarrow, have some out front, lovely. You can always dig up some, take some with you. It will create a mass planting.
But that's not native.
The common area is, I believe.
Millefolium, yeah.
Yeah, the common, yeah.
Folium is native.
I don't know about what they have in nurseries, but it is growing wild at Oakland Cemetery.
Okay.
Flame acanthus, lovely shrub. It is deciduous and it can look leggy, as you can see here. So it's very open and airy. But the hummingbirds love it because it's that orange tubular flower. It can reseed easily, but you know what? Donate it to the plant sale. So here's the Harvard agave I was talking about. You could try to do in the shade. So hopefully it'll relax a little bit. So plant it and report back. Beautyberry, yay. So this is the native color. It also comes in a white and a deep burgundy. But I think you'll probably, if you want to stick with native, stick with this purple one. Bob will tell us it makes a great jam. We'll stop putting sugar in it. No, just kidding. So if you want the recipe, probably online somewhere. So the berries are fall. So come spring, when it actually blooms, they're very minuscule, just little white, green blooms that you can hardly see. So it's not very showy in the spring. Okay, the mist flowers. We're going to talk about both of them. So everybody gets confused. They kind of look the same, right? Blue mist flower versus Greg's mist flower. There is a name difference. There is a leaf difference. Can everybody see that? So Greg's mist flower is on the right, and it has these palmate, well, whatever the word is. Thank you. The new
My
term
name
for it?
is Dissect them or something, because the leaves are cut.
Okay, dissectum leaves. I'm gonna give this to Emily to give next time. Where the blue mist flower leaves are not. Conoclinium colostinium versus Greggii. Yay! I massacred it, not too bad. Has anybody planted the blue mist flower, and how do the monarchs react to it? Is it the same as Greg's? So Emily's shaking her head no, but okay, this is, I don't know if it's PC, but I say Greg's mist flower is monarch crack cocaine. They go to it before anything else. So I was wondering how it compares if they're side by side. Do they still go to the Greg's? She's saying not so much. One more thing. The males need some chemical from the Greg's mist flower, but I've seen females on it too. So anyway, yeah, Anthony.
I think this is, this is my own backyard. If I remember correctly, my memory serves correctly, this past fall, I think I saw the monarch and the queen on at the same time. If I'm-
Yeah. That's typical.
That's it, I think, and that's it, but then my understanding too, that you got to be real careful in water because my understanding that they don't like wet feet. And I planted 5 of them last year, I think, last summer or whatever. And I think I lost 3 of them because only one of them fully came back and another one trying to come back, so. I don't.
Has anybody had Greg's mist flower and wet feet and survive? Keep me posted. Okay. So you're probably not alone. We'll hear reports back. It does spread by underground runners and rhizomes. But so what I did is I put it in my hill strip between my sidewalk and the street, so it was kind of contained. So think about that. When it's a lovely plant to have, it's got a caveat, but I say plant it anyway, but know where you're gonna plant it.
It's probably better for me. I was thinking probably better not to intermingle with other plants that probably require the water. I think because I think Grace is don't like wet feet.
Yep.
So I think the next time when I try to get, I think I might kind of aside from the other plants, so that way you don't have to worry too much about giving them too much water.
It can take a lot of water if you have good drain, good fast drainage.
Now, that could be my problem.
Yeah.
That could very well be my problem. Because my soil is kind of that black clay.
Yeah.
Black clay.
Right, so you need to supply, you need to, modify it.
Probably need to add more, I've been using like for the natives, it's like the expanded shale, it's supposed to.
Another thing you can do is just plant it on a gently sloping mound.
You'll probably have better luck with compost because it's gonna seep into that black clay where expanded shell is just gonna sit on top.
Think the compost would more apt to mix in with than the expanded shale would.
You're gonna get all those nutrients into the clay soil. It's
Maybe
gonna,
that's what I need to say. I can try that next time. Next time when I do that, I think I'll do that.
It's an alkaloid in Greg's mist.
it's an alkaloid that the male monarchs want.
Can't say the whole, it's PA is the abbreviation.
Okay,
Also, Janet wanted to note that Greg, this flower is Viagra for.
oh, I could say that, yeah.
Like their mating pheromones with it, like they need the PA to
Yeah.
produce the pheromones that, or the females are attracted, or something.
Yes.
Something like that. Okay. Ingredients.
Close up of the blue mist flower versus the Greg's and how the Greg's can take over. And a close up.
I have another question. I read somewhere that one of them supposed to do better under moist conditions than the other. I think, is that the blue mist flower? Supposed to do better under moist conditions than the grape mist flower? I don't know if it's true or not.
This says both of them do well in moist.
They both do well in moist.
Uh-huh. Landsleaf coreopsis, all sun conditions. It's just gonna be a little leggier in the shade, and the more shade you get. Of course, our purple coneflower will take partial. Strawberry bush, very airy deciduous shrub. It's growing natively in Spring Creek Forest Preserve, along the main trail toward the car. Cute little, I mean, look at that seed shell, looks like a strawberry with little seeds inside. Cute little thing. No, it says May and June. Mm-hmm. It does get tall. So when we planted at Arlington City Hall, it got, 4 or 5 foot tall, and it was very open. So some people might not like the visual effect of it. So supplement it with something denser, like put it behind. Of course, we got prairie verbena. We'll do partial. Texas spider lily will do partial and moist. Lovely cool flowers. Lindheimer indigo will take partial shade, but will also handle wet conditions. Found on the alluvial soils and limestone gravels along streams in the hill country. Of course, we've got our cenizo. I know it says partial shade, which means 2 to 6 hours of sun only. So I know it's in there. Yeah, pushing it. Then we've got the white or Texas honeysuckle, Lonicera albiflora, great little shrub with white flowers.
It can grow in the dark.
Oh, I should add shade to that too.
Yes,
Okay,
like under juniper trees.
sweet. Agarita. This is at the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center in partial shade under that tree canopy. And still going strong. Beautiful yellow flowers in the spring and red berries in the fall.
Burglar barrier.
If you didn't hear that, great burglar barrier plant. Yes, or teenage escapism. We have rock rose. It can do some partial shade. Prairie penstemon will do partial shade too. Penstemon cobea. Gulf Coast muley or Brazos penstemon will do great in partial. I've seen it do great with only a couple of hours of sun. And it has a lovely, so I wouldn't cut it back for the summer because on the right, you're going to see those lovely red seed heads or, and then, and stalk, and the leaves turn limey. So it's a great color combination for the summer. And they make great cut flowers too. They don't wilt on, as soon as you cut them. Every time I did it and took them to work though, I kept seeing little caterpillar poo all around my desk though. So if you don't mind that, that's what it's there for, right? Natives for, supposed to be eaten by something. If you've got a pond, you could do pickerel weed. One of the only blue flowers we have, just not too many. Pigeonberry is a great. It just spreads out and it's lovely and unique because it blooms and berries at the same time along the same stalk. Cedar sage. I'm going fast now. We only have a few slides left. Shrubby or Wright's skullcap can also do partial. Probably won't bloom as much. And then we've got scarlet betony. This is short-lived for me, but it's still beautiful. Fall aster will do some shade. The little installation in full sun. I need more full sun, but it will do some partial as well. Cute little grass-like bunch. Giant spiderwort, lovely for shade. rusty, black hall viburnum, lovely pollinator plant for partial. Skeleton leaf goldeneye, I haven't planted it in shade, partial shade, but it says it'll do it. Extremely drought tolerant. So this guy is from the west side of Texas. Not really around here, but it still makes a great, I put it in my hill strip next to the Greg's Mistflower and it did wonderfully. Greg's Mistflower started taking it over. Sexmania. I love this one. If you plant it by itself, of course, it's not going to be by itself for long, but it makes a perfectly round globe. It's very architectural. And then it reseeds and then it's a mass planting. Then we have pale leaf yucca that will do in the shade, partial shade. Twisted leaf yucca for some variety. Golden Alexander. Everyone should have Golden Alexander.
And it's another one of those, if you have it all over.
Yes, but mine took a couple of years to actually go.
I did too, but it went.
It went, it'll go. It is the host plant for swallowtails. So,
I have yet to see a swallowtail on that.
Me either.
yeah. Out of having it for 5 years, I saw 3 1 year. But when I first saw it in Spring Creek Forest Preserve, that's where I saw the swallowtail. And I went, hey, I need that plant. And we'll have some at the fall plant sale. Okay, these are hard to find or difficult. So these milkweeds can do partial, so I included them. Antelope horn, not difficult. Swamp wheat, milkweed, aquatic, bog, world is great. Need a little bitty leaves. It's so cute. I haven't seen it bloom personally, but
In what, December or January this year?
whoa.
What are we doing here?
Okay,
Yeah. When
Now-
you say difficult, does that mean difficult to grow or difficult to?
it's the next ones on my slides.
Both.
Difficult to grow, difficult to find.
Both.
Now I didn't include this one, but this plant has been in full shade all spring and it bloomed. This is the Asclepias texana. It says it doesn't do partial shade, but I think you should. It says it's on the border of stuff. So give it a shot and look at this. It's so cute. Little white blooms, a lot smaller than your typical Asclepias. Asclepias texana,
Oh,
Texas milkweed. Yep. And these blooms last a long time.
I think every one is a lot easier to get established than these others like the green.
No, it's
milky.
harder to find. But it's becoming easier. More people are propagating it.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Trout lily, hard to find.
10 years to establish the seed.
Yep. Yep. And 7 years once you see the leaf to bloom. We think pollinated by ants or spread by ants. White avens. Don't plant it if you don't want it. Don't plant it if you've got dogs or cats or pets of any kind. It will stick to their fur and never come out. You got to do a little snip, snip. It will get on your socks. So I will never plant this plant. But it's fun to see out in the local nature preserves. Yeah, see these little seed head spike thingies? Yeah. That's gonna poke you in the ankle. Woo! How we doing? Y'all wanna quit? You wanna talk about trees? Oh, that's fun. Okay. You may leave if you like. I will. 10-second break, go. We've got Texas buckeye, lovely plant for the shade. You can do the Buckeye Trail in the Trinity River. It is not marijuana, okay? Tell your teenagers that that's not what it is when they go on a hike with you. The leaf kind of looks like it. I've seen swallowtails get the nectar from this baby. It has a cousin, the red buckeye. It's more East Texas, but lovely nonetheless. Will still do well here for the shade. Fringe tree. Has anybody planted one of these? I've never seen one.
They are definitely east.
Yeah, definitely east, but I don't even know if they'll work here. I've never seen one planted. So I need to bone out that one, but you know, hey, it's on the list. Report back. Rough leaf dogwood.
Does the word weed mean anything to you?
Okay, another caveat plant, at least for Peter. Then there's the lovely flowering dogwood. If you can get a hold of one of these, woohoo, lucky you. If you hear about the hike at Dogwood Canyon, go on it. They have ladders up the trees. You can take pictures from down below. You can just like, well, dogwood's not acidic really, but it, yeah. I'm sure that there's genetics are different in this batch. Yeah.
I went on a hike with Tony Avance and some other horticulturists to Dogwood Canyon to see the dogwoods in bloom. And I asked Tony why he thought there was a stand of dogwoods able to grow in a limestone escarpment. And he said he thought that the eons of trees dropping leaves had created actually a layer of acid soil on top of a limestone, and that's what they were growing.
Maybe I'll reach out to Julie Collins if somebody will remind me and see if they've done a soil test around it. Hey, Julie. Rough leaf or flowering? And y'all, she just lives on the other side of, yep. Little bit of, yeah. Oh, it's a great pollinator magnet? She's telling me, rough leaf dogwood is what we're talking about. Okay. Sweet. Yeah. Elbow bush. This is a fun little plant. Early spring bloomer. I mean, that yellow was so striking, but it is airy. It does bloom before it leaves out. It can create a thicket. So if you got an open space, this is another great one. Anybody know why it's called elbow bush? The main stem, all the offshoots are perpendicular to it.
Find that though. I was trying to find one.
Yeah, they.
We'll get some more.
We'll get some more. It is becoming more readily available, but it has been hard to find in the past. Well, we did order it from the Austin wholesalers.
That you see, I can see how big they get.
I think that's also an organic garden sign.
Yeah,
Is it October or something?
we haven't set a date yet. We know the symposium is early October, so we usually need a break before or after it and then we have to coordinate with the Master Naturalist conference. And so anyway, we'll pick a date, let you know. Carolina buckthorn. I know Carol Feldman loves this plant because I know Rosa does too. Great shiny glossy leaves, little tiny blooms, and then it creates these cute red berries that turn black. Virginia sweet spire. I haven't seen many of these around, so I can't talk too much about it, but anybody else? Because it is far east Texas, but it's so cute. Everybody's got one of these, right? If you got a suburban house. But you can. There's a dwarf and a tree variety. The birds, the cedar waxwings just devour it. like crazy. Who?
Eco Blossom.
Eco Blossom has elbow bush in stock. Eco Blossom. Yeah, Fort Worth. She's by appointment only. And basically, so you can order it online and then go pick it up at appointments.
Ah,
Yeah.
it's a bad decision.
Yeah. Close up of the berries. Okay, Yopon versus, oh, I didn't do Possum Haw. Darn it. That is a sin. Everybody know the difference between Yopon and Possum Haw? Deciduous on the Possum Haw and the Yopon keeps its leaves. It's evergreen. So if you see a buried tree, red berries, nothing else, that's Possum Haw. And don't worry, I've heard conflicting stories, but I tend to lean on the one where you don't need a male and a female in your yard because the birds and whoever's pollinating it, there's going to be one somewhere in its flying range, so you should be good. But since the females are the one with the berries, you probably want to buy it in the fall to make sure you get what you're wanting. Thank you. Once again, that QR code is for this PDF. Birding or burning?
That's the first snapdragon vine. I have seeds of Osirina scandens, but when I went down the rabbit hole online, it said that's native to Europe. And the Marandella antirenifolia is native to Texas. I can't find the Marandella seed. I also can't tell the difference between the two.
We had it for sale, not seeds, the plants for sale at the spring plant sale. So we could probably get it again in the fall. I could give you mine. That does behave like an annual though.
Doesn't, I have mine in a
Really?
pot and I neglect it. It's been fine.
So I guess depending on, it's short-lived in some places and
I think it repeats itself. Seen it a lot.
uh-huh. Yeah, I'm not sure what pollinate. Do you know what pollinates it? I haven't seen any on my pollinating mine.
It flies on it.
Oh, that's probably why I haven't seen.
So, but, tell me it's grow at the plant sale or do you?
So we
Or-
ordered those plants. I have tried to grow it from seed and it started popping up 3 years after I planted it.
Wow.
I've had more luck with the actual plant that I have. It's just reseeding into the lawn.
The Osirina I've grown from seed, but it's not the new. I'll like